You ever carry a gun so small, you actually forget it's there until you sit down and it pokes you like a metal splinter of justice? Today, we're talking about micro-revolvers, the kind of wheel guns that don't just conceal, they straight up disappear. These aren't your grandpa's 38s with 4-inch barrels and leather pancake holsters. These are the stripped-down, snag-free, ultra-light pocket blasters you carry when even a subcompact semi-auto feels bulky. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, why revolvers in 2025? Because while the plastic fantastic crowd is busy comparing striker triggers, the smart folks are slipping 5 rounds of reliable double-action peace of mind into their front pockets and not printing a damn thing. So, whether you're looking for a backup gun, something for deep summer concealment, or just a minimalist piece that won't weigh your pants down, I've got 5 micro-revolvers that'll vanish in your jeans like a bad Tinder date. Let's count them down, from shockingly small to I can't believe that's .357 Magnum. Let's get into it. You ever carry a gun so small, you actually forget it's there, and then panic because you think you lost it inside your own pants? That's the North American Arms Pug. The first time I slipped it into my jeans, I legitimately spent 10 minutes patting myself down like TSA, thinking I dropped it on the floor. Spoiler alert, it was sitting comfortably next to my keys, pretending to be one of them. This thing made the list because it defines the word micro. It's not just compact, it's microscopic. If it were any smaller, you'd need a microscope and tweezers to reload it. But despite the tiny footprint, it packs enough of a sting to earn its place as a true last-ditch, deep concealment backup. It's not designed to win a gunfight. It's designed to end a bad situation fast, before you even finish yelling back off. Specs? We're talking 4.56 inches long, a 1-inch barrel, and just 4 ounces. It holds 5 rounds of .22 Magnum, and you can get a cylinder for .22 LR if you feel like gambling with underpowered rimfire. Single action only. So yes, you have to cock the hammer manually each shot like it's a mini cowboy shootout. But hey, you're not laying down suppressive fire with this thing. You're up close and personal. Shooting the Pug is kind of like driving a go-kart with a turbo button. The recoil isn't bad, because of physics, but the short barrel and tiny grip mean you'd better hold on with intention. At the belly button range, where it belongs, it gets the job done. It's not a range toy. It's a get-out-of-jail gun. Reloading is a slow dance with frustration, unless you have hands the size of raccoons. But reliability? Surprisingly high. It just goes bang when you need it to. Compared to anything else on this list, the Pug isn't about comfort or power. It's about not being there at all until you need it. Deep concealment, backup carry, non-permissive environments. This is your Hail Mary. Bottom line, if you want something that disappears into your jeans and makes a comeback only when your life's on the line, this is it. If a Zippo lighter had a baby with a cowboy's last hope, it'd look a lot like this Pug. They say good things come in small packages, but whoever said that clearly never shot a .357 Magnum out of a revolver that feels like it's made of balsa wood and bad decisions. The Smith Wesson 340 PD doesn't just answer that question. It makes your wrist ask why you hate it. This revolver is what happens when a featherweight track star straps on a rocket launcher. It's sleek, brutal, and vanishingly light. I added it to this list because it's the lightest .357 Magnum revolver on the market, and somehow it still functions like a full-grown blaster. If you want serious power in something that vanishes into your jeans like a magic trick, this is it. You'll feel it when it fires, but you won't feel it riding in your pocket all day. And that matters. Specs-wise, it's a slim 6.31 inches in overall length, with a 1.875-inch barrel, and an astonishing 11.8 ounces. That's thanks to its scandium alloy frame, which, fun fact, sounds like a made-up Star Trek metal, but is real and incredibly strong. It holds 5 rounds of .357 Magnum, but most folks shoot 38 Special Plus P to avoid a trip to the orthopedist. Hammerless, double action only, snag-free as a buttered ghost. Performance? It's a paradox. With 38s, it's snappy but controllable. With full house .357s, good luck. You'll win the fight, but probably dropped the gun afterward because your fingers went numb. That said, it's ridiculously reliable and draws like a dream from both pocket and appendix. The Dow trigger is consistent, heavy but smooth, and most importantly, it's always with you because it's not a burden to carry. Compared to something like the Ruger LCR or Kimber K6XS, the 340 PD is the least forgiving, but it's also the most powerful relative to its weight. This isn't a beginner's gun. It's a professional tool for someone who trains regularly and has strong wrists. Final word? The 340 PD is the revolver equivalent of a concealed carry fist bump. Quiet until it absolutely isn't. Not fun, not friendly. But when it speaks, people listen. This is the gun you carry when you want your pants to feel empty, but your holster to whisper, "Try me, punk." At first glance, the Ruger LCR looks like something you'd win out of a claw machine until it kicks like a mule and groups like a champ. That's the Ruger LCR. This thing looks so minimalist, so plasticky, that your first thought might be, did Ruger just 3D print a gun? But the moment you shoot it, that polymer frame stops being funny real fast. It made the list because it's probably the most carryable yet comfortable revolver on the market. If the Pug is your micro backup and the 340 PD is your flamethrower, the LCR is your everyday workhorse, easy to conceal in jeans, but still large enough to shoot without needing a therapy session afterward. Specs: 6.5 inches long, 1.87-inch barrel, 13.5 ounces, chambered in 38 Special Plus P, though it comes in everything from 22 LR to 357 if you want variety. It has a polymer lower frame with an aluminum upper, which makes it light yet oddly balanced. The Hogue Tamer grip helps tame recoil and fits surprisingly well in big or small hands. Dow trigger only, no hammer, no snag. Now here's where it shines: shootability. The trigger is arguably the best double-action pull on any revolver in this size. It's buttery smooth with no grit and a consistent break. You won't be stacking single-hole groups at 25 yards, but at 7-10 yards, you're punching respectable holes all day. The grip soaks up recoil better than you'd think, especially with 38 plus P. And while you're not exactly looking forward to mag dumps with it, it doesn't punish you like the 340 PD. Daily carry? A dream. Drops in a pocket holster and disappears. You almost forget it's there until you sit down, shift your hips, and go. Oh right, I'm armed. Unlike heavier snubs, the LCR doesn't pull your belt down or dig into your side like it's mad at your pancreas. Compared to the 642 or K6XS, the LCR is the sweet spot. Not the lightest, not the strongest, but the easiest to live with. It's the Glock 19 of micro-revolvers. Boringly good, aggressively practical. Final word? This gun doesn't try to impress you. It just works, quietly, consistently, and comfortably. If Batman carried a revolver for grocery runs, it'd be the LCR. Functional, lightweight, and ready to ruin a bad guy's day without wrinkling his cape. There's something weirdly comforting about the 642. It's like the revolver equivalent of your old pickup truck. Maybe not the prettiest, definitely not the flashiest, but it'll get the job done every single time, even when it's freezing outside and the battery's half dead. This gun made the list because it's still one of the most trusted pocket revolvers in America, and it deserves that reputation. It's small enough to vanish in your jeans, light enough to forget about, and tough enough to survive years of lint, sweat, and pocket abuse. If you're looking for classic concealability with modern carry practicality, this is it. Specs are straightforward: 6.31 inches long, 1.875-inch barrel, and weighs 14.6 ounces. It holds 5 rounds of 38 Special Plus P, so you're getting solid stopping power without crossing into wrist-snapping territory. The frame is S&W's famous J-frame airweight, and the hammer is fully enclosed, 0 snag points, even in skinny jeans. It's double action only. And yeah, the trigger is a bit stiff, but consistent. Shooting the 642 is like having a conversation with an old friend. Blunt, honest, and a little rough around the edges. Recoil is noticeable, especially with plus P loads, but not unmanageable. The grip is small, but functional. You're not dropping 2-inch groups at 15 yards, But this revolver wasn't built for bullseyes. It was built to be quick, intuitive, and always there, even when your waistband's sagging and you're sweating through your shirt in July. Compared to the Ruger LCR, the 642 is a bit heavier and more traditional in feel, but every bit as effective. It doesn't have the LCR's fancy polymer frame or custom grip, but it's proven, time-tested, and easy to find parts for. It's also often priced competitively, which means you can afford to throw it in a pocket holster and just go about your life. Final verdict? The 642 might not win any Instagram photo contests, but in a real-life emergency, it'll be ready long before your Glock finishes loading up with attachments. This is the Revolver version of a steel toe boot. Unassuming, a little old school, but absolutely ready to stomp on someone's bad intentions. You know that feeling when you find a revolver that actually looks cool? Like, not just functional, but slick enough to make your other carry guns feel self-conscious? That's the Kimber K6XS. This thing oozes style and confidence like it just walked off a Miami Vice reboot. Why is it number one? Because it nails the perfect balance, small enough to disappear in your jeans, but big enough to shoot like a grown-up gun. It's got that "I'm not here to play" energy, with just the right amount of flair. Plus, it's the only gun on this list that gives you 6 shots instead of 5, without turning your pants into cargo shorts. Let's talk specs. 6.8 inches in length, 2-inch barrel, 15.9 ounces, still concealable, still light, but just heavy enough to absorb some recoil. Chambered in .38 special only, which might bum out the .357 crowd. But trust me, this thing was made to shoot .38 well, not punish you for trying to be a hero. The K6XS has a slim, snag-free profile, smooth dowel trigger, and a rubber grip that feels like it was made for human hands, not robot claws. The fixed sights include a front orange dot that's super easy to pick up under stress. It draws clean, indexes fast, and stays put when holstered, or stuffed in a solid pocket rig. Performance? Fantastic. The trigger is smooth and predictable. Recoil is more than manageable, even with +P ammo. It feels solid, like a serious firearm, not a compromise. And it shoots like a dream, with enough heft to stay flat but not enough to weigh down your waistband. Compared to the other guns on this list, it's the most refined, the most shootable, and arguably the most confidence-inspiring. This is for folks who want micro-size without giving up shootability or style. Yes, it's a little pricier than some others, but you get what you pay for, and then some. If the 642 is a steel toe boot, the K6XS is a custom leather loafer with a punch dagger in the heel. Classy, subtle, and just dangerous enough to keep in your pants. So there you have it, 5 micro-revolvers that won't print, won't poke, and won't weigh your pants down like you're smuggling bricks. These aren't gimmicks. They're what you reach for when you want simplicity, reliability, and a little peace of mind stuffed next to your car keys. But remember, just because they're small doesn't mean they're toys. Practice, dry fire, know your draw. The last thing you want is to fumble around like you're digging for chapstick when you actually need to save your life. Let me know in the comments what's living in your pocket right now. I'm always curious about who's packing style, who's packing power, and who's just carrying whatever their cousin gave them at Thanksgiving. And for the love of God, don't carry a nickel-plated mini revolver in a sock. You're better than that.